Hi guys, this is Ivan. I'm from the Lookout and I've been on the fest, and this is the top 8 deck list of U7 Goku. This is the 5th place actually. You probably see Matish, who was 6th, and this is the 5th list. I bubbled out, but it doesn't matter. The deck worked perfectly. As you may know, the Goku is a burst leader. This is not an aggro deck, but it starts really aggro. But after that, you stop the gas and literally control your opponent's board, unison, and lives. But along with that, you do it with the hand. My unison spread is 5 unisons. This was literally a 5th cost 3 red unison to coincide with the Videl, not to have any other unison that is cost 2 or anything other in the deck, just so she can land on play whenever she wants. Vegeta is here as a 3-of, especially against Floodgates, and Koitsukai is also against Floodgates, but I prefer the Vegeta because it literally lets your opponent tap out to do that. But Koitsukai is against some of the matchups that don't lose energy by playing. Don't lose a lot of energy by playing their counter cards. King Piccolo is here because your unisons will always have a lot of markers, and he will always be live. But you have to time him pretty good. You don't have to play him when you can, but when is the great opportunity to actually put a lot of pressure to the opponent. After that, we have the only secret rare for this deck currently, Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta on Drill Power. I won a match today by burning my opponent for 1 life, and it is possible. Other than that, I use them just to, I don't know, when he ends up in the drop, your opponent will know that you can grab him. But when he's in the hand, it's a mystery card, so they think you didn't burst to get him. Especially when you stop bursting after a while, they think that you're not drawing into him, but when you have bad bursts, by bursting your negates or anything other than that, you stop, and then they think that you do not have the Vegeta because you don't want to dig deeper into your deck, but you do. The Goku is here because he's the main boss monster of the deck as a large animal that has to be countered with. I won a match with him and he is really good. The Vegetas, the Friezas, the Goku 3-drop, and the Android 17s are the deck's actual main engine. And you don't play Goku drop on turn 4, but you play him on turn 5 or 6. Until then, you use the counterplays, the Kotsukais, and them to actually control your opponent. Divine Penance was here because of blue, but it didn't run into blue. I usually started him out. And this Vegeta is going to be as a 3-of. I put 4 because he has the Universe 7 trait. Nothing else I actually didn't make any sense to put in. He was usually charge fodder or discard fodder for the sparking enablers and stuff like that. But I kept 4 of them just for the Trunks matchup. If I go first, I can neg his Trunks and Vegetas. You can make your sparking 10 really live on turn 2 if you put your mind to it. Frieza is absolutely gorgeous as a card, and he is either he's either the card who negs the opponent's unison or puts the opponent in an awkward position when they have to go from 5 to 4 because they have to decide if they want to play the blocker negate, and if they do, you just pass turn. Goku is here really as a good surgical point with Jiren and with Videl. So when you use the 2 counter windows with red, and you can do that with red, you use them as a turn 1 because the opponent will try to bypass Jiren. When they play something that's 15k, you actually use him, and then you neg something 15k. Whatever else they want to follow up with, Jiren will neg it by 10, and then if it's larger, Videl will actually neg it and kill it. Android 17 is good for putting your opponent from 6 to 5 or 6 to 4 or from 5 to 3, depending on what your opponent can actually play and what can do. The Gohan is a turn 1 play. I've been really satisfied with his performance today. The greatest thing about him, he's a cantrip. I use him as a cantrip. So I play him, I look at the top 5, attack with leader, burst with leader, whatever, and then on the first opposing swing, depending on what I bursted, I usually just combo him off so I can have 5 U7s in the drop. Android 17 is one of those cards that you love to hate because when he's bursted, it's awesome, but when he's not bursted, he's usually the card you draw. So yeah, U7 players, bear that in mind. He's a tricky man. The 4 super combos are Friezas, I would say that it's self-explanatory, but it's a U7 trait that has Sparking 5. As a super combo, you stay at a pretty high life total. These two are variations of negates depending on the matchups. So if I see considering this was a fest and we had a pre-side event, these two cards were interchangeable from the side. So depending on what I ever played against, they would just literally become the third copy of the card and keep the other one for just surprise purposes. 4 after image technique is the main negate of the deck, and it works perfectly again with the Goku, with the Videl, with the Jiren, and I have to say I'm really satisfied with it. Goku Kaken was here as a tech card, and because he has a U7 trait. I did not use him today at all, and I probably, he will be the last card on the cutting room floor, because probably the Divine Presence will just move to the side, and Vegeta will become a 3 copy. But I think I will leave him just for random barrier stuff. You can even remove the Gogeta 6 drop that has barrier. You can, if he doesn't split in the same turn that he does, you can actually follow it up with removing him from play. So that is really special for that. And let's see the side, and now we'll go to the side. We'll use the Awakened side leader. So these two were the set 10 Vegito Unison that Ivan Calculator gave to me for the tournament. I used them against the King Piccolo matchup and they were really good. I also wanted to put him in because of the mirror and some other, against Black it doesn't make sense because everything they do with skills is made in the first couple of turns, so he's coming too late. But other than that, he's a good addition to other certain decks. I put only 2 Broly Crowns, I didn't sign in the whole day, but it's a good option to have. This was against a random blue baby player who can actually show up, or a random Janemba player. At the end we had 2 Janemba players. I didn't play against anyone and I'm super satisfied with it. This, the Spanish, not the Spanish Inquisition, but the Spanish Special. I saw it on the stream and it made perfect sense against Trunks, against Sin Shenron, which is really your tough matchup, and against other cards that are 5k, even against Oceanus. This can actually remove it from the play, so you don't have to waste your Vegeta on anything other than that. Koitsukai was here to be against King Piccolo and to replace one of the Vegetas, because against King Piccolo, Vegeta is cool on their offensive, but you will actually put them in a defensive place with your deck, and Koitsukai is really more important because of that. So Koitsukai becomes the 3rd Vegeta, and he literally rips your opponent's hand apart. Realm of the Gods Ultra Instinct was here because of Sin Shenron and because of Black, primarily the thwartings and other stuff, and it worked really good. I talked about the Violent Rays and the King Vegeta's Imposing Presence split, and I played 2 strategies of Universe 7. This was actually here because of Sin Shenron and because of the Haze. So if you remove the 9 drop, you time your Awakening on turn 4, you attack their leader or whatever that exists, you tap 1, remove the 9 drop, after you remove the 9 drop you awaken, you have 4 energy, and then you play the 8 drop. After that you play Strategies of Universe 7, and when he attacks, he cannot be killed by Haze, he has barrier. So they have to Vegeta Final Flash it and then Haze it, but it's too much for Sin Shenron when you push them for too much damage in an early game. So that was my deck profile. So guys, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please comment down below, and like and subscribe for everything. Bye.
Thanks.